Music! I love doing that. It's so cool. Hey, I'm Michael Edward, creator of How to Crush Your Mental Blocks, which is a course that teaches you how to identify and remove the mental blocks that's keeping you stuck, stopping you from reaching your level of success. Hey, my friend, I am Michael Edward. This week, let's talk about the power of belief. All right? Belief is all around you. It always has been. You need only look at history. You need only think of the great people. They brought their beliefs to us. They changed our beliefs, right? We've explored from lands to land. Why? Because at one time, hey, they thought the world was flat, you know, and they were afraid that if we went out in that ocean so far, we're going to fall off the world, man. We're going to fall off the world. Can you imagine? And the horizon was not the end, right? The horizon just keeps moving forward. So somebody said, "No, I don't believe that the world's flat. I'm going to take a cruise," right? And off they go. I don't know what they did when they were out there, and there was no sight of land anywhere. Probably didn't. Well, they certainly didn't have the GPSs that we do today. Anyway, and you know, explorers explored, found new lands and all that kind of good stuff. And now we are well above the sky. There was a time where we thought we'd never get beyond the sky. Why would we? You know, what's out there anyway? And so on and so on and so on. Now it's such a commonplace. I mean, when I was a kid, it was a real event when the shuttle took off and all that kind of stuff. Now it's just a common thing. I don't even know how often they go. I really don't even hear about it anymore. And Thomas Alva Edison, you know him probably as the guy that created the incandescent light bulb, right? He lit up the world. He believed that this light bulb was going to catch on, and man, it was going to make a difference to the world like you would not, believe. And in England, they said, "Oh, that's just another fad. It won't last. It won't catch on." Television, right? That was just a wooden box over there in the corner, and nobody's going to watch that, man. That's not going to catch on. All of these things that have changed our beliefs over the year. Now, Thomas Edison, I've been doing a little research on him lately because he's a fascinating guy. He has over 1,000 patents. Can you imagine? Over 1,000 inventions and so on. Now, he died, I think it was in 1931. So you need to take this quote in the context of the day. He said, and I love this one, he said that a man from his neck down is worth $2 a day. All right? From the neck up, he's worth whatever his brain can produce. All right? Let me run that one by you again. Thomas Edison said, and I hope I'm quoting this directly, but if not, I'm real close to it. From the neck down, a man is worth $2 a day. From the neck up, he's worth whatever his brain can produce. So in other words, from the neck down, you're just talking about physical labor. You're talking about, physical action, essentially. But from the neck up, oh man, the brain, that's where it's at. And in that brain, we have to increase our knowledge. We have so much to learn. No matter where you're at, there's always more to learn. But we also have to increase our belief. All right? And if you have any doubt on that, you definitely, how can you be alive and not have heard of the placebo effect? Where they gave two groups of people medication, pills, pain pills, and one of them was just empty shell. There was no medication in it whatsoever. And told them, this is a really powerful painkiller. You will not be in pain in half an hour. And half an hour later, they were not in pain anymore. And this study has been done over and over and over again. And the only thing that made it any different than having the drug in it is belief. The power of belief is staggering. All right? And yes, I know when we're talking about success, what the environment which you grew up in has a lot to do with your level of belief. Okay? It is so much easier for a child born to a rich family to be rich. They're around it. They see it all the time. They can, role model after these people. And yet somebody who's grown up in absolute poverty, violence, and so on, it is harder. It is absolutely harder, but not impossible. Okay? We'll talk a little bit more about that, but I just want you to know that the environment has a great deal of effect on you, and you need to keep that in mind, and you need to account for it. You need to, if you grew up in a bad scenario, you need to get rid of those feelings and develop new beliefs around it, okay? And that brings us to point number one. Point number one is model excellence. Model excellence. Now, when I was, I'm blind, right? You probably not the first time you see me, but if it is, I'm totally blind. I have been since about age 10. I was born with an eye disease that also left me half deaf. And I wear sunglasses because I have the lights on here over the camera, and they're bright enough to hurt my eyes, and I get a headache. So I wear sunglasses. Besides that, it makes me look so cool. And I had to find some role models because, you don't hear, especially I grew up in the 70s and the 80s and stuff, and you didn't hear a lot about successful blind people. And later on, as I started to realize, I would like some more role models. Well, I had a friend of mine who was a very famous celebrity musician, and he was definitely a role model. I thought, well, hey, you know what? If he could do it, I can do it. I had no interest in being a musician, mind you, but I wanted to reach a higher level of success. Okay, so then I looked at Ronnie Millsap. He's a country singer. He's blind, and I read his story, and he tried to make it as accurate as he could. And it's a phenomenal story. He grew up dirt poor, raised by his grandparents, who lived up in a partway up a mountain in the Smoky Mountains, I believe. And they were dirt poor. And yet he ended up being very successful. All right? Because the one thing he did have was love in the family. Didn't have money, but they had love. All right? Anyway, you need to figure out who your role models are. Okay? So you want to role model your way to success. Role model your way to the top. How do you do that? You find a role model, and that's probably the hardest part, is to find a really good role model, is to find somebody that you really identify with, and you adopt their traits. You become them, as close to them as you could possibly become, right? You find out what they like to read. You find out the kind of music they like to listen to. You find out how they feel about different things, right? And you're going to learn that they have an absolute total belief in their ability to figure things out. I mean, you can't do anything without it, right? So you want to find a role model. Now you found that role model. You want to read books about famous people, okay? That is how you find a role model, is a way of finding a role model, is to read books about famous people and find somebody. And by famous, it doesn't have to be movie stars, musicians, and so on and so forth. I'm talking about people who have reached a high level of success. If you can find books on presidents, prime ministers, whatever it is in your area, they say that one of Abraham Lincoln's success was because he never forgot anybody's name. And the staff that worked for him, he like kept notes or something, but he knew who liked what. And he saw a particular bird that was rare, and he knew that one of the ladies that worked on his property really liked the bird. So he phoned her up and said, "Oh, by the way, there's a bird over by such and such if you want to see it." He was president of the United States when he did that. This guy's a busy guy. But that's the kind of love that he had for people. All right? So anyway, you find out what it is about somebody and dig, and adopt their behaviors. Okay, really role model, really mentor after them. Do what they do. Talk the way they talk. Anything you can figure it out, do it. All right? And watch your belief go up. Now, your past result. This is number 2, by the way. Your past results. Okay? I've had a tremendous amount of successes. I've had a tremendous amount of failures, but I have had a lot of successes in different areas. And, I mean, when I graduated college, that was a big win for me, because that was tough. I had a real hard time in college. But that was a big win for me, and it's one that I draw on today. Sometimes when I need that, oh, God, I don't know. And then I go, yeah, when I was in college, man, I figured lots of stuff out. I learned lots of stuff, you know. So I did it then. I can do it now. All right. So sort of the way I think about it is have been, can be. Okay? Have been, can be. So whatever you have been, you can be. Whatever wins you had, you can win again. And the tough part here is that people forget. We forget the wins we've had. We forget how powerful we have been. We forget all the successes that we've had to bring us to where we're at today. You need to remember those. Right? You need to draw on those past successes. All right? And what you can do is just write a story about it. You know, literally just grab your computer or keyboard there and start writing a story about times when you were successful. Blow it up, exaggerate it, do whatever you want with it. It's your story. You know? And if that doesn't ring your bell, if writing doesn't turn your crank, then talk about it. Say to a good friend, a spouse, a lover, whatever, say, you know what? Hey, Michael E., he told me, I got to tell you about some of my successes, so sit back, my friend. I want to brag for a bit. Have some fun with it. But you need to remember those successes, right? Have been, can be. Okay? I hope that helps raise your belief, because when you've done something once, you can do it again. And that's what the belief part comes in. All right? Experience in your mind. This is number 3. Experience in your mind. All right? If you can touch something in your mind, you can have it in reality. Okay? Let me say that again. If you can touch something in your mind, you can have it in reality. Yes, we're talking about visualization. We're talking about meditation, if that's how you visualize. We're talking about closing your eyes, taking a few deep breaths. This is not woohoo stuff. And seeing what you want, feeling what you want, watching a movie with you in it as the lead role, doing this stuff. And when you get better at it, you will actually be in the movie. It won't even be a movie. It will be real. Your eyes will be closed and you will be interacting with these people. You are the director of the film. You are going to touch, smell, hear, taste, all of the stuff that has to do with being with what you want. I know. People say, no, that's too hard, man. I can't visualize. Hell, I'm blind. I'm blind. I don't know if I visualize things exactly right. I mean, it's been over 50 years, or 40 years. It's been over 40 years since I could see. But I still close my eyes and I still play it out. And I touch things in my mind. I smell the things in my mind. I hear the voices. I see images. Are they accurate? I don't know. I don't care. I'm with it. I'm happening. I see myself doing videos. I see myself in the office. I see myself in the studio. I see myself doing all kinds of stuff, all right, that I want to do. And that helps raise your belief. It makes you feel good. It makes you feel excited. It starts to happen. You need to make the time to practice this. Okay? And this is where the tough part comes in, is that we start a practice like this, whether it's meditation, whether it's visualization, whatever you want to call it, we start, and then we get the benefits from it. We start to feel good. It's like exercising, right? We start to get the benefits of it. We start to drop the fat. We start to put on a bit of muscle. And then we forget how lousy we felt, so we stop. Right? We stop working out. Next thing we know, we're putting on a little more fat. We're losing a little bit of muscle. we start to feel like crap again. It's a cycle. Break the damn cycle and stay with it. How do you stay with it? Schedule time. Put it on your calendar. Every day, get the reminders. Every 2 days. I don't care what it is. 3 times a week, man. Just put it on your calendar and take the time to be with it. All right? Take the time to experience whatever success means to you in your mind, so that you can raise your belief, so that you can touch it and in your mind, and you can have it. All right? I really hope this serves you. Thank you very much for watching. Please go ahead and do all the likes and all that kind of stuff. There's a link to the Facebook page. There's all kinds of stuff there. I go live there almost every day. The party just never ends here. I can lose that page. The party never ends here. All right. So thank you very much, and we will talk to you next week. Until then, I want you to go out there and enjoy every day, love as much as you can, and succeed. Hey, if you enjoyed the video, please like it, share it. Click on that subscribe button. Click on that bell icon to adjust your notifications so you'll never miss another video from me again. In the description, there's links including mepersonaldevelopment.com, where we help you reach your highest level of success.